Hello and welcome to week 6 of the course, EU Security and the Future of NATO. In previous weeks, you explored the historical development of NATO, the emergence of the European Union as a security actor, and the geopolitical implications of NATO enlargement. This week, you will examine how NATO and the European Union cooperate in crisis management and international security operations. Understanding this cooperation is essential because many contemporary security challenges require coordination between military alliances and political institutions. During this week, you will analyze how NATO and the EU coordinate their policies, share resources, and respond to international crises. International security challenges often require cooperation between multiple organizations. In Europe, NATO and the European Union play complementary roles in crisis management and conflict prevention. While NATO provides military capabilities and collective defense mechanisms, the European Union contributes through civilian missions, diplomatic engagement, and institutional support programs. This division of responsibilities allows both organizations to address complex crises more effectively. As you study this topic, you should analyze how institutional cooperation strengthens the European security architecture and how coordination challenges can arise between different international organizations. This week introduces several key concepts that will help you understand how NATO and the European Union cooperate in international security operations. One important concept is the EU-NATO strategic partnership, which refers to the institutional cooperation between the two organizations. Another key framework is the Berlin Plus Agreement, which allows the European Union to use NATO's military resources for EU-led operations. You will also examine the concept of civil-military cooperation, which highlights how military operations and civilian missions work together to stabilize conflict regions. As you review the materials this week, you should consider how these frameworks enable different institutions to coordinate security responses to international crises. During this week, you will complete several learning activities designed to deepen your understanding of EU-NATO cooperation. First, you should review the lecture materials and assigned readings which explain how the European Union and NATO collaborate in crisis management. Next, you will participate in the discussion forum where you will analyze the advantages and challenges of cooperation between these institutions. You will also complete a short self-assessment quiz which will help you review the key concepts introduced in this week's module. Finally, you will complete a weekly analytical project where you will examine how institutional cooperation contributes to international security operations. This week also includes an interactive analytical activity. In this activity, you will explore real examples of EU and NATO cooperation in crisis management missions. You will examine how these organizations coordinate their policies and how they divide responsibilities when responding to international security challenges. As you complete this activity, you should analyze the strategic advantages of institutional cooperation and consider the challenges that may arise when multiple organizations operate within the same security environment. In the discussion forum, you will analyze the following question. Does cooperation between NATO and the European Union improve the effectiveness of international crisis management? When writing your response, you should support your argument using examples from the readings or policy materials introduced in this week's module. Your initial post should present a clear analytical perspective, and you should also respond constructively to at least 2 contributions from your classmates. The discussion forum provides an opportunity for you to engage in academic debate and explore different perspectives on institutional cooperation in international security. At the end of the weekly module, you will complete a short quiz designed to help you review the key concepts introduced this week. The quiz will focus on topics such as EU-NATO strategic cooperation, crisis management operations, the Berlin Plus Agreement, civil-military coordination. Completing the quiz will help you reinforce your understanding before moving on to the next module. Your weekly project will focus on analyzing the role of institutional cooperation in international security operations. You may choose the format that best demonstrates your understanding of the topic. For example, you may submit a policy analysis essay, a video explanation, a podcast commentary, an infographic, or a narrated presentation. Regardless of the format you choose, your project should demonstrate critical analysis and engagement with the key concepts introduced this week. To guide your work, please consult the project assessment rubric available in the course platform. The rubric explains how your work will be evaluated, focusing on conceptual understanding, analytical reasoning, use of evidence, clarity of communication. Using the rubric while preparing your project will help you produce a strong and well-structured submission. Week 6 provides an important opportunity to analyze how international institutions cooperate to address complex security challenges. As you work through the materials this week, you should think critically about how NATO and the European Union coordinate their strategies and how this cooperation shapes the broader European security architecture. Your analysis this week will prepare you for upcoming modules, where you will explore geopolitical competition, transatlantic relations, and the future of NATO and European security. I look forward to seeing your ideas in the discussion forum and your analytical projects in the weekly assignment. Good luck with your work this week.